Hey guys, I'm Roxy and you are watching Slice. It's the cooking show on LittleThings where we give chefs $12 to make a meal for two and they only have 20 minutes or less. Taking the Slice challenge today is Todd and Henry from Leaf Bar and Lounge in Flushing, Queens, and the owner and chef of the restaurant. What are you guys making today?
So today, Henry, who hails from Taiwan, is going to be making a classic Taiwanese night market dish, probably one of the most popular. It's called Oyster Pancake, or Oajian.
Yes.
I don't know if I got that right, but
Oajian.
close enough.
Yum. Oysters are expensive. Are you sure you can do this with $12?
Well, that is the cost variable, certainly. In the restaurant, we tend to use fresh frozen because it's hard to keep it in inventory. But if you're doing this at home, we definitely recommend fresh oysters.
Sounds delicious.
That would be the absolute best, and that's the way you usually get it in Taiwan.
And we are judging this meal, and our special guest judge today is Mike Cho. He is the Food Baby Daddy. You've probably seen his Instagram at FoodBabyNY. He's a blogger and food critic here in the New York City area, and you're going to be judged on presentation, taste, and creativity. But Mike is allergic to shellfish, so I will be judging you on taste. He will be judging on presentation and creativity. So again, let me remind you guys, this is the Slice Challenge where we have given our chef $12 to make a meal for two. And tell me, Todd, what ingredients is needed for this dish and how much they cost you?
Okay, so we took the challenge with $12, and like I said, the biggest cost variable is going to be the oysters. Again, if you're doing it at home, definitely go to the store and get fresh oysters. They run about $1.50 a piece, depending on the type. Today we're using the sort of smaller oysters that Henry likes to use. We can pack the pancake with a lot of oysters, and it goes over well with our customers. So 2 eggs. Usually we use chrysanthemum greens. Those are out of season, so Henry's substituting with Chinese cabbage. We've got garlic, soy sauce, sugar. Probably the most key ingredient here, besides the oysters, is the sweet potato starch. We have cornstarch, ketchup, hoisin sauce, and ajinomoto. So he's already prepped 2 different sauces. There is a soy garlic sauce that he uses. And there's also a ketchup and hoisin-based red sauce that goes on the dish afterwards, after he plates it.
Great. Well, you have 20 minutes to make this meal for two. I know it's going to probably take you less because you guys are pros, but do explain as you go through it what you're doing, and I'm going to put 20 minutes on the timer right now. Are you ready, Henry?
Yes.
All right. Let's go.
Okay. So we'll turn on the fire, the medium heat first.
Ida from Tampa just tuned in. Can you remind viewers what we're making today?
Oyster pancakes.
Taiwanese style.
Taiwanese style oyster pancakes. And
Go ahead.
okay. So
why do we use oysters? We were talking about this earlier, but Taiwan is, being an island in the South China Sea, if I'm not wrong about my geography, there is an abundance of fresh seafood there. And oysters go really well in the pancake. They're also, known for enhancing male virility. So Chinese men in Taiwan, eat it and believe that it will strengthen them in the most important ways.
And we have people watching from all over. We have, I think I saw, yes, Jeanette in Romania.
Wow.
Do we have anyone from Taiwan watching? And I believe, Henry, you lived in Taiwan as well as some other places. Where have you cooked in your career?
The Taiwanese food.
All over, right?
All, yeah.
When he was a kid, he moved to South America with his family, and they were, where was it again? Bolivia
Bolivia,
Argentina,
Argentina, and Brazil.
and Brazil.
Brazil.
Thelma wants to know, can she use shrimp?
Yes, yes, definitely. It won't be the same, classic recipe, but certainly shrimp is an easy substitute.
Ida says she's going to make them for her husband tonight.
Excellent. So, we're just waiting for the pan to heat up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We usually at the lounge. We're really a cocktail lounge, but obviously when you're drinking, you need to be able to eat something. So all of our food, it's all classic Taiwanese dishes because Henry, being Taiwanese, that's his specialty. So we do a great beef noodle soup, popcorn chicken that people love, fried pork chop, 3-cup chicken, oyster pancake. These are all classic Taiwanese dishes.
And you guys?
And usually we do it on the flat top griddle, the plancha.
Nice.
And he's got, a lot of square footage where he can make it. So he's, we're restricted to a nonstick pan here, so we have a few more steps, but.
And you guys are located in Flushing, and Mike, I know you go to Flushing a lot. Tell me some of the restaurants that you like to visit there.
We've recently been going to Shanghai U Garden a couple times, really good Xiaolong Bao there. Trying to think of other Taiwanese places. I think there's this place called Cheers Cut we tried once. I think that's Taiwanese. They do like the giant fried chicken thing there. So we haven't tried too many Taiwanese places in Flushing. But we're always around there. We go to Spot Dessert Bar, which I think is right near you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So we go there for dessert all the time. Yeah, a lot of good stuff over there.
Yeah, and you'll have to come up to our rooftop next time you're in
Order
that
some
area.
Non-shellfish stuff.
Yeah. Oh, we've got plenty of non-shellfish stuff.
Cool.
Speaking of shellfish, Lori wants to know, can you use clams?
What do you think, Henry? Clams?
Pork, sherry pork.
Can we can you substitute clams for oysters in this dish?
Yes.
Should be fine. Sure.
And Mike, when did you realize you were allergic to shellfish?
It was later, when I was like later in my teens. I used to eat shrimp all the time when I was young, like by the bucket, like tons of it. And then later on, I just started to develop an allergy where my lips would swell up and I would get all itchy. So unfortunately, haven't had it in a while.
Can any of you guys relate to that who are watching? Give us a heart if you're allergic to shellfish.
It's like being allergic to peanuts. It's fairly
Pretty common.
Yeah.
Fairly common.
Vinny wants to know if you can use pork.
Pork. I mean, you could probably use just about anything,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Any kind of protein.
Pick your favorite protein.
Yeah, pick your favorite protein.
Put it in a pancake.
Yeah. You could use pork. It won't be, again, it's called oyster pancake because that's the dish. But again, if you want to, it's basically a pancake that could accommodate any kind of protein that you want.
All right, well, we have less than 15 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, so we're starting the oyster pancake. The first bowl, put some oil in the pan.
Melissa is asking, I'm assuming about the oysters, fresh or canned?
Either one's okay. Fresh is best. So you've got to wilt the greens a little bit. Because those will be added to the pancake a little bit later on. So we've got that.
So that was really quick. You don't leave them in long, huh?
Well, he's just sort of flash frying it to wilt it a bit because, it's fast. And then he'll add it into the pancake a little bit later once that starts to set.
And what kind of greens were those?
Was that Napa cabbage?
Napa cabbage.
Napa cabbage.
Vinny, you hit the nail on the head. He just asked if it was Napa cabbage. So where do you guys get your oysters?
I am not exactly sure where they come from. You know where these come from? These oysters?
Oyster
Yeah, what
from
country
Korea.
they come from?
Korean.
They're Korean oysters.
Korean
Okay.
oysters.
Korean
And did you use olive oil for the pan?
Yeah.
The regular oil.
Regular canola?
Canola oil.
Canola oil. Yeah. Olive oil will change the flavor of it. So I think you want to use like a neutral, non-flavored oil.
Sandra is asking if we can get the recipe later on. Yes, you can. We will pin a link to an article with the recipe on LittleThings.com for you.
So as you can see, Henry just put the sweet potato starch and water mixture into the pan. And that's what is going to hold everything together.
And then the egg on the top. Oh.
And sweet potato starch, is that found in your typical grocery store? Do we need to go to an Asian market?
Most likely you would have to go to an Asian market for that. Right, Henry?
Yes.
Yeah. If you come to Flushing in Queens, there's a Chinese market on every corner. So it's readily available. And it's an amazing area. It's changing very rapidly because of an influx of new, very wealthy Chinese immigrants.
Ricky just asked, was that a double yolk egg? Lucky, lucky.
I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was too.
A little extra dose of cholesterol for you in that one.
Lulu says they've never tried oysters before. What does it taste like?
Ooh,
How would you describe the taste of an oyster?
oyster. The best oysters, the fresh ones, won't have a very strong flavor to it, and a lot of it's more about the texture. Oysters are incredibly popular in New York, especially. People love going and ordering a plate of. I love going and ordering a plate of oysters and having a glass of champagne. Sometimes a little bit briny. Of course, it depends where it comes from.
Melissa saying sweet yet slimy.
There you go.
I would agree definitely on the slimy.
Yes, yes.
Especially if it's raw oysters.
Right. Sweet, I don't know. I mean, I guess you could be sweet.
Depends what you can put on them.
Sure.
If horseradish or
Right.
cocktail
Yeah,
sauce.
usually it's served with a sauce. But there's a lot of protein in oysters.
Caroline says, I like oysters on mayonnaise and Ritz crackers.
Mm.
Angela is asking, did they take the pearls in the oysters?
Sorry?
If we took the pearls.
Oh,
We're doing that tomorrow.
these are different kinds of.
Actually.
I don't think these are the types of oysters that
I
you
think,
would
yeah,
cultivate for pearls.
They're different. We're
They're
looking
specific.
for pearls and oysters tomorrow, Angela. So if you want to tune back in tomorrow, we will be finding pearls for you guys.
Really? How are you going to do that?
I have no idea, but somehow Cassie, our morning personality for Refresh, she's going to shuck oysters
And look for pearls.
and look for pearls.
All right. Good luck with that.
Mike, what do you look for in new dishes? I know you can't taste this one, but if you had, I know you photograph a lot of food. In terms of new restaurants and dishes, what do you look for to try?
I like to try everything as long as it doesn't have shellfish. It's fun to try to go to a place and try what the specialties are, especially something like this that's it's kind of known for in Taiwan. So I would definitely like to try the regional specialties that a place would be known and popular for. Definitely, that's like what they're known to do the best. So I definitely like to look for that kind of stuff.
Henry, are there any tips that you can give people about how to cook it? Sort of technique?
It's better way to the plant jobs. It's better way. But
Right. But with a pan, what's the best way to is there anything you need to be careful about?
It's not.
Not really, right?
How can you tell when the
If you know how to make an omelet, you can make.
How
make
can
Yeah,
you
it
tell
seems
when
like
it's
omelet.
done?
Yes.
Sorry.
How can you tell when it's done cooking?
You'll brown it. So the egg will be cooked. The starch will be have sort of a firm yet elastic kind of consistency to it, and the outer portion of the pancake will be sort of browned.
Sandra says, we eat a lot of oysters here on the Gulf Coast of Alabama. Love them. Ida says it looks more like an egg omelet.
Right.
And you have less than 8 minutes left, but
Because there's no flour in this, right, Henry? There's no flour. It's all
Only the sweet potato.
just the sweet
Starch,
potato starch. So it's less like a pancake and perhaps more like an omelet. Yeah.
Gina wants to know, will there be sauce covering it?
Yes, there will be.
Stay tuned, we will put sauce on it.
So Henry's flipped it over, and now he's watching carefully to make sure it doesn't get overcooked.
Angela wants to know, are there more than one kind of oyster?
Oh, there's so many different types of
Depends
oysters.
on the location, right?
Yes. Yes. Cold water oysters, I think, are the best.
Freshwater.
Massachusetts is very well known for oysters.
And remind us again what kind of sauce you're going to be using.
It's a red sauce that is very simple, a little bit sweet. It's ketchup, hoisin. What else do you have in there?
Sugar
Sugar,
and cornstarch.
cornstarch to thicken it a little bit.
Robert says, other than crawfish, oysters are the king in New Orleans.
I've never been to New Orleans.
Ooh,
I would
it's
love
a
to
fun
go there.
city.
I would love to go there. I want to go for the jazz festival one year.
That just happened.
Did it?
Yeah,
I missed
just
it.
missed it.
I missed it.
Very good gumbo.
And they do one of these days. I haven't had time past couple of years because we were getting this business off the ground. But the most famous cocktail event, perhaps in the world, definitely in the country, Tales of the Cocktail, is in New Orleans, where all the bartenders and mixologists and bar owners and liquor purveyors show up to have a really good time, I've heard.
We actually just went to New Orleans, so a really popular thing there is the fried oyster po' boy, which I couldn't
yeah.
try, but people love it there.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it looks really good.
How was it?
I tried all the
Oh,
other
you couldn't
kinds of
even
po'
eat it.
boys,
You
yeah.
couldn't eat it.
I tried like fried catfish and roast beef, but I couldn't try the oyster, which is really popular there.
Oh. So your wife got to try it.
She tried it. She liked it.
Did the baby like it?
I don't think the babies tried it. They were probably sleeping through it, maybe.
How old are they?
3.5 and 17 months.
Oh, wow.
Lulu says, I'm sitting here in the dark and you kids are
We just
making me
press
hungry.
them and just plate.
Sorry?
We just plate this and plate.
We need to plate it for
For
maybe-
two?
Do you want to cut it? And
Okay.
then
Okay.
plate two separate portions?
And you have 5 minutes to take your time. And Gina says she wished she had smell-o-vision. Looks delicious.
It does.
So I
It's-
know, Mike, you can't taste it, but can you describe the smell in this room right now?
It smells really good. It smells, definitely you can tell there's a lot of eggs. You can smell the eggs very strong. It's really good in here. Wish I could eat it.
And there's a little bit of garlic
Mm-hmm.
smell. What else are we getting?
Little bit garlic in the sauce.
Yeah. The oysters can have a little bit of a, ocean sort of smell, a little briny kind of smell to it. But the fresh ones won't have that flavor.
And you have 4 minutes. What is the sauce again? It's a mixture, I know,
Yes.
of a bunch of different things. Can you remind us the ingredients that go into that?
Henry, do you want to talk about what goes into that sauce there?
This is a hoisin sauce and the ketchup and sugar and some cornstarch.
Okay.
And hoisin sauce is so common these days that you could find it in the Asian section of any grocery store.
Great. So if you want to start plating it, this is a meal for two for $12 or less. If you are just tuning in, this is the Slice Challenge. And we will be judging them on taste, presentation, and creativity on a sliding scale 1 to 10. And the chefs with the highest total score overall get invited back for a special Slice Challenge. We'll have a prize for the winner of that. So are you ready?
Yes.
I'll let Mike go up there and judge on presentation and creativity, and then I'll join him a little later and judge on taste. So you did that in under 20 minutes. You had about 3 minutes to spare. So good job.
Okay.
Can we get a close-up on the dish? Can we move those two bowls in the front, and we can show you guys what the end result looks like.
So
Presentation 1 to 10. What would
Okay.
you score it?
I will give it an 8 for presentation. I think there's like it could have used maybe a little bit, maybe more of the greens on top, maybe to give it some kind of color, a little bit more instead of all that sauce that you really just see in the middle of it. Might have made it look a little nicer and pop a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And creativity.
I'll also give it an 8.
Okay. And why is that?
It looks good. I don't see it as often. I guess there's not as many Taiwanese places maybe that we go to in Flushing, but of the few that I've been to, I don't see it as often. And it looks good with that sauce on it. It looks like I would love to try it.
And you are tougher than most of our judges, and Ricky agrees. He said, Mike looks like a tough judge. I know he eats a lot.
It's true.
So
I
you
do.
try a lot of dishes. You have a right to be tough, and we like that because some of our judges, I think, have been too nice. So I'm going to score you guys on taste.
In fact, in Chinese culture, 8 is the best possible number that you
Oh.
I know 8's a lucky number. Yeah.
can get. 8 is the
So
lucky
I'm
number.
trying to get everything here.
8 is better
Oyster,
than 10.
some
There you go.
eggs. I really can't get the green. Oh, I'll get the green in my next bite. I'm a huge seafood fan. And I like eggs. And the sauce adds just enough sweetness. So, do you have an empty
Sorry,
one?
there was one.
How about
Peter,
the texture?
can you
lot of
hand
it's
me a
about the-
panel?
Sorry about that.
So for taste, I don't eat as much as Mike, obviously. I'm easily impressed. It was a 10. Great job,
Thank you.
guys. I thought it was delicious. I'm probably going to finish that whole thing if they don't take it away from me. But thank you, guys. Can you tell everyone out there where exactly you're located if they want to visit you guys in Flushing?
Sure. We are located in downtown Flushing on the rooftop of the Hyatt Place Hotel on 39th Avenue.
Great.
On the block between College Point and Prince Street.
Well, check them out, Leaf Bar and Lounge. And thank you, Henry. Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Mike, for joining us on Slice today. Tune in next Tuesday, 5 p.m. for the next Slice Challenge. That's it for today.